Right, and then amen.
Nice turquoise shorts today.
Giants, help us, God.
Work it, work it. Work it. Yeah.
We luckily Bridges about, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. We share a lot of workouts.
Yeah.
And he's like, he sent me a workout with, it said Zeus rope, and I was like, Zeus rope. He's like, dude, get a Zeus rope. Glad we did. And then Hewitt wouldn't use it. Hewitt's like, I'm not using that thing. It's so stupid. It's stupid. I can't do it. The rope is heavy.
So the Zeus rope, yeah, we started using it a few months ago, and I hate it. Like, I wasn't good at it. It just pissed me off in a workout and just chunk it. And he's like, oh, they give me so much crap. And then finally convinced me that I need to use it. And so the last few months I've been doing better about using it. So it's good that it's showed up now because it's tough.
Sorry. Morning. Right leg, left leg, does it matter?
Shit gets real bad. I'll go over there and kick them probably. But I'm not going to say it right now. I'll wait till we're done with the day.
I want to know how Rich knows so much about history.
I like history. Oh, okay, so here's the thing. No, actually, to be honest, my dad loved the History Channel. And then when I worked at the fire department, I had a lieutenant that from 8 to 5, if we were watching TV, the only thing we could watch was the History Channel.
Because you do like some really random stuff. Like,
I like history.
In your mind, how much are you adjusting game plan as you watch strategies going on?
Nothing really. Just kind of seeing where people are getting tripped up. I mean, we kind of know. We've done this long enough, but it's just interesting to see, I don't know, like where people are getting held up or what people are getting to. You really don't know. Some of these, I mean, the spacing and stuff like this, you've done a lot of the movements, but the spacing is a little bit different than what we're used to, like the long field. And moving equipment is different too.
Will be on the snatch, no dropping from the top. So you complete your rep, you have to lower the bar back to the ground. If you drop from the top, that's a no rep. You have to redo that rep.
No dropping from the top is a no rep.
oh,
On the snatch and overhead squat.
okay.
No dropping from the top is a no rep.
For anything.
On the overhead squat and snatch, no dropping.
Okay.
So once you go,
Set it down.
yeah, no dropping.
So how do you feel about this workout?
I am very nervous.
Very nervous? Is it the movement?
It's the movement. So the two main things that I avoid at all costs in my training are GHD sit-ups and overhead squats.
Back?
For my back, yeah. So because of the way that my L5 is, last year was on the verge of herniation. Those discs are now bulging as a just result of life. So GHDs is the one thing that I really try to avoid because when you hyperextend all the way back like that, it puts direct pressure on those, and since they're already bulging, it's just a little risque. So I have to sit the GHC really close to the back, so I try to just stay as flexed as possible without having to do that crazy hyperextension. So I just have to be careful, which I have to slow my team down for that so that I can compete the rest of the day and for tomorrow. So that makes me nervous. And then having overhead squats at the very end when I know that I'm already fatigued makes me a little bit nervous because it's the same kind of thing. You kind of have to hyperextend a little bit to hold a good position. But it's only 10, it's at the end, and they all are very aware of that I've been avoiding these, so they've all been very like, it's fine, like just do what you can do. Matt's gonna be my partner. He's well aware that he's gonna be waiting on me most of the workout, but as long as I can just move smooth through it and just not have any hiccups and not be injured going into the rest of the day and going into tomorrow, and we hold a good position, it should be okay.
And
but
does
I'm nervous.
having the lead you'll have, does that give you a little bit better headspace about it?
Yes and no, because if we were in a deficit, then I would be even more like, oh good God about it, but we don't want to give up any lead. And if anything, we want to stay where we are or gain by the end of the day today. So
be in a better place for tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, so that we have enough kind of going into tomorrow and still have, because we don't know what's coming. So I don't want to give up too much of a lead, and I know that we can make it up and we're a strong enough team that we have enough, but I don't want to feel like I'm the reason that we lost a whole lot of lead in this specific workout. I'm kind of glad that they're both in the same workout so that we won't have them again, which is a blessing in disguise all at the same time, but I am nervous.
Hey, I noticed yesterday when they had the briefing, you saw some of the other team captains go over and ask questions, and you went over to listen. That's something you're always aware of, just to hear what other people are asking.
Yeah, I don't really like to ask questions, but if I hear somebody ask a good question, then I find out what that answer was. Strategy stuff.
I just think whoever's the fastest goes first. After that, I don't think we're all pretty equal. So whoever's the fastest.
It's audible right there. Complete changed everything. So yes, to answer your question from earlier, yes, we watch things and change things.
So are we still second?
All right, what do you think? Second to last.
Will you guys be slower than us in the GHD?
Not yet. I'm going to be the slowest GHDer.
Then we should go second.
And that will
Now you're moving the mats. Mats and the ropes.
I'll
Mats
tell
and
you.
jump ropes. Mats and jump ropes.
I got you.
First, we're moving the mats. We're going to move barbells past.
We got this way real quick before we go.
Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for all we have gathered here. Thank you that everybody's healthy, having fun. I just pray that we glorify you in all that we do. Keep us safe, keep us strong, make the barbells feel light, make those lungs open. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Nice turquoise shorts today.
Giants, help us, God.
Work it.
Yeah. Come on, get that run down.
RD. Christian RD rep it.
Why is CrossFit Mayhem so strong?
I think we just do a really nice job of working with each other, and when one of us sees a weakness in ourselves, we're pretty effective at passing it off to somebody who could do better, and it helps that we all get along well. So I think some of those are some of the basics, and these guys are all great athletes, so that makes it a little easier too.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Let's go forward.
Thank you, volunteers.
Appreciate it, guys.
Good job, guys.
Matt, how'd that one go?
Oh, well, we had some mistakes, but I think our mistakes compared to other people's mistakes must have been a lot smaller because we still had a pretty good lead. And then again, once we got ahead, it's just kind of watching around, knowing where we need to be, and just making sure we were sharp at the end, making sure getting those double unders. That was huge. So it went well. Time to get after it this afternoon.
What happened that y'all had to change the order?
Right before we just watched some teams, and it was like, some people are tripping up at the end. No one's getting through the overhead squats. We need to put the strongest two up front. So him and Christian Refn went first. Just right as we were standing out in the athlete corral, we made that change, and it worked out really well for us.
Yep, we got it.
So audible called, and it worked. Went to the Hail Mary, touchdown.
I'm okay. I feel okay, thank goodness. I definitely started to feel a little pinchy on the muscle-ups, which is why I told just to break it to 7 and 3. And thank God by that point we had a lead. Because on the muscle-ups, it doesn't happen that often, but after that many GHDs, just that back kip is that same kind of pinchy hyperextension. But it was great, and that's essentially why we ended up switching the order, because we noticed that a lot of teams weren't making it to the end. So then Rich and Carol were like, forget it, go at the end, and then you might not even have to GH, or might not even have to overhead squat, and then we can save you. And it worked out perfectly. I was ready to do one. I was mentally ready, but we ended up getting the W anyways.
How long have you known Rich?
I guess about 4 years now. It's been about 4. I moved to Cookeville. I got a job at Tennessee Tech. Actually, his position that he had resigned from a few months earlier. So coming in, I knew about him, and my wife grew up in Cookeville, and she grew up with him. And so I knew him, like just kind of a high-by basis. And then after the first year I made it to regionals, we competed against each other in 13 with it was me, him, and Dan Bailey worked with me. So it was kind of fun to have all of us in Cookeville in the same heat. They were a lot farther ahead of me, and kind of, they would finish the workout and then come get me and make sure that I finished. But after that, we just kind of started hanging out more and training. Pretty much started training right after that, and just our relationship's grown from then. So it's been really, really cool.
Do y'all have a plan on how long you're gonna try and keep the team together?
Not really. I think Rich said he won 4 individual. He would like to win 4 team. So I guess we got to do this a couple more years. Hopefully we win this year, and then maybe a couple more. So we'll see how long it lasts.
Now, I was going to ask, so what happened?
I got a little too excited on moving the SkiErg, and it has a bar across the top. And James said, just grab it. So I grabbed it, and it went, and I just saw stars. I was like, I felt like Tweety Bird.
Was it before or after you'd already gone?
Right before.
Right before? Oh, so you got to go in.
Yeah, it hurts.
How was the rest of the workout?
It was harder than I expected. It was a lot more painful. I mean, when you take your core away from muscle-ups, the longer the rings are, the more difficult they are. So that was a little more difficult. And then plus right after the GHDs. But the stabilization overhead on the soft ground is a little more difficult. But James is really patient. He did a great job. And so did Lindy and Rich and Kristen and Matt. I think everyone did. I always tell people that team, to me, is 100 times more stressful than individual, because the last thing you ever want to do is let your team down. And that was like the Murph worm. Like, no one wants to say put it down, and I think that's what's different about our group. No matter, we will literally fall down and fail before we say stop. And I think that's the difference, because you don't want to let anyone down, and you don't want to have to stop.
Hey James, we got called to the principal's office.